Hello, Ben Smith here with eTrends Tax and Accounting. We have the CARES Act right here. It was signed by President Trump today. Most of us weren't expecting him to sign it till Monday, and I certainly wasn't expecting to be able to come on here and do this recording today. I was thinking it'd be next week, but hey, that's because of Gabriel over in our Puerto Rico office. I have to give a shout out to him. He spent time today digging into this legislation so that I could tell you about really the keystone provision for small businesses, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, which is an SBA loan program with the potential to be converted into a grant or free money for businesses. So let me run through it real fast. Let me set this up a little bit. Number one, this is going to be a very, very popular program for businesses all across the United States. It is meant to be streamlined and easy to get and apply for so that you can get money quickly. That being said, it is serviced, the loans are serviced, and the lending, underwriting, and all that is done by private banks all across the country, right there in your local, wherever you are in your local town. So there's going to be a bottleneck over the next week or 2 weeks where we've got tens and hundreds of thousands of businesses applying for these loans. I just want to throw that out there. You might be wise, and this is why I'm doing this tonight, you would be wise to get your applications in quickly and then be a little bit patient. These banks are going to be overrun. And even though the government guarantees these funds, you have to ask yourself, how many of these loans do these banks want to put on their balance sheets? So there might be a real bottleneck there, a real practical lending problem there. So just letting you know that. It is a great program for businesses hit by the coronavirus. So who's it for? It's for small businesses with fewer than 500 employees. It's for the self-employed, the sole proprietorships, the independent contractors, so long as they have employees. And the businesses need to have been in business on February 15, 2020. The program is available through June 30th of this year. The amount of money you can get is 250% of your average monthly payroll. And the intent is that you'll use the funds as a bridge to get through the next 2 months, to pay for operating expenses or your fixed operating expenses, and to pay for payroll, and mostly to keep employees on and paid. And there's the key to having the loan converted to a grant or to be forgiven at the end of 8 weeks. That is that you have to have not any fewer employees at the end of the 8-week period than you had during the same period in 2019. If you can show that, and you haven't significantly decreased payroll or wages during that time, then your loan will be forgiven, and you don't have to pay it back. It's free money. Essentially, you got to use it to keep people employed and to pay some of your operating costs. So what costs are those operating costs? Payroll costs, health care benefits, mortgage interest obligations, rent obligations, utility payments, and interests on other debt obligations that you had. So you go to your local bank to apply for the loan. You might be able to do so online as well in many places. Interest rates won't exceed 4%. You won't have to make payments on these loans for 6 months, or at least 6 months. Again, at the end of 8 weeks, so 8 weeks after you receive the loan, if you meet the payroll requirement we already went over, the loan can be forgiven. It's a great program. The fees for the loan are waived. You won't be paying any fees to get the loan. The requirements for the borrower are simply that you make a good faith certification that the loan is necessary because of the uncertainty caused by COVID-19. You must also certify that you are not receiving assistance from some other duplicative SBA program, and you don't need any collateral for these loans, so you're just going to go in and get it. Like I said, the banks are going to be very busy. This is a great program. I would encourage any business struggling right now, take advantage of this, especially if you know that you can keep your employees through the next 2 months, because then it's free money. If you can't, if you can't keep those employees, but you still need operating cash, it's not a bad deal. It's a low interest loan. It turns into a 10-year loan when it's all said and done, and overall not a bad deal. Something else worth mentioning is that the SBA Express loan, which is a different product, normally it has a lending cap of $350,000. That has been increased to $1 million through the end of this year, and the qualification requirements have really been, pared down and streamlined. So that is a much easier loan to get. But that is simply a SBA loan. You're not going to get it forgiven. Anyway, there are your options. Keep your chin up. Talk to you later.